When the body begins to drift towards sleep, it passes through a fragile and mysterious gateway between full awareness and the first layers of dreaming. This transition is known as the hypnagogic stage, a moment where consciousness loosens its grip and the brain starts shifting into slower, more rhythmic patterns. Your muscles gradually let go of tension, your breathing evens out, and the heartbeat softens like a drum fading into the distance. It is a peaceful descent, slow, gentle, and usually unnoticed. But sometimes the brain interprets this natural relaxation as a surprising threat. In this stage, the body's systems are shutting down one by one, handing control back to automated rhythms instead of conscious regulation. The brain, however, has evolved through millions of years of survival demands. It constantly scans for danger, even during rest. As muscles go limp, part of the brain misreads this sudden loss of tension as a sign that the body may be falling. This confusion often happens so quickly and subtly that you don't notice anything until a jolt snaps through your body. This sharp contraction, commonly known as a hypnic jerk, is a last-moment protective impulse. Long before modern beds and safe sleeping environments, humans and earlier primates often slept at heights or in unstable environments. If a limb relaxed too much, it could mean slipping from a tree branch or an elevated surface. Over countless generations, the brain learned to fire a rapid alert when the body appeared to lose balance. That ancient alarm system still lives inside us today. What makes this phenomenon even more fascinating is how universal it is. People across cultures, ages, and lifestyles experience hypnic jerks. Research shows that up to 70% of humans have felt these sudden jolts at some point in their lives. Despite being so common, the experience often feels deeply personal, like a sudden shock that pulls you back from the edge of a dream. In truth, it is a window into the brain's old survival wiring, still active beneath the calm surface of modern sleep. The hypnic jerk is not just a random twitch. It is a coordinated neurological event sparked by ancient instincts. To understand it better, imagine the brain as a security system that never truly turns off. Even as you fall asleep, it monitors balance, muscle tone, and internal signals. During the early stages of sleep, the body undergoes a controlled shutdown. Muscles relax, temperature slightly drops, and sensory input decreases. This shift creates a momentary disconnect between the brain's expectation of stability and the body's decreasing tension. The brainstem, which controls primitive reflexes, often triggers these jerks when it senses a mismatch between your posture and your muscle tone. In evolutionary terms, a limp body often meant falling, slipping, or losing grip. So when muscles suddenly release their tension, the brain sometimes mistakes it as an emergency. It sends a burst of electrical signals through the spinal cord, causing the arms, legs, or torso to jump. The experience is so sudden that it often wakes the person mid-fall in a dream, creating the spooky illusion of dropping from a great height. Interestingly, these reflexes are more active in moments of stress. When someone is exhausted, anxious, or overloaded emotionally, the nervous system stays slightly on guard. This makes the brain more sensitive to the changes that occur as sleep approaches. Caffeine or stimulants can amplify this effect by keeping parts of the brain alert, even as the body tries to shut down. In these cases, the hypnic jerk becomes more frequent because the brain is stuck between vigilance and relaxation. Children experience these jerks even more often than adults, partly because their nervous systems are still developing. Their sleep cycles are shorter and lighter, with more transitions between states. For them, the reflex is simply part of maturing brain circuitry. For adults, the phenomenon often decreases with age, but never fully disappears, because the underlying instinct is so deeply rooted in our evolutionary history. The sensation can include muscle jumps, perceived falls, flashes of light, or even the feeling of tripping over something. Each of these sensations is the brain's way of stitching together fragmented data as it tries to interpret rapid internal changes. It is a glimpse into the borderland between waking consciousness and dream logic, a territory where signals can be misunderstood, exaggerated, or transformed into vivid imagery. Although hypnic jerks can feel intense or startling, they are almost always harmless. Sleep specialists consider them a normal part of the transition into sleep, similar to dreaming or sleep talking. They usually become noticeable only when someone is extremely tired or mentally overstimulated. In these cases, the brain has difficulty letting go, clinging to control even as the body moves toward rest. When people experience these jerks frequently, they often worry that something is wrong. But in most cases, it's simply the nervous system reacting to daily pressures, late-night screen time, irregular sleep routines, caffeine, or overthinking before bed. The more active the brain is, the more likely it is to misread the signals of relaxation. Creating a calming pre-sleep environment can help reduce them. Dim lights, slow breathing, consistent bedtimes, and avoiding stimulants late in the day. Another fascinating aspect is how hypnic jerks connect to the dreaming mind. Sometimes the jerk comes right at the moment when the brain generates a dream scenario of falling or slipping. The physical jolt and the dream often synchronize, even though they originate independently. This reveals how deeply intertwined the physical body and the dream world truly are. The brain constantly blends internal and external information, creating a seamless story, even when that story lasts only a fraction of a second. Scientists still debate the full purpose of hypnic jerks, but most agree they represent a blend of evolutionary memory, neurological protection, and transitional instability. They remind us that sleep is not a simple off switch, but a gradual descent through layers of consciousness. The border between waking and dreaming is incredibly sensitive, shaped by instincts that have kept our ancestors safe for thousands of years. Ultimately, the hypnic jerk is a sign that the brain is doing its job, protecting, interpreting, adjusting, and guiding the body through one of the most mysterious processes of human life. It marks the moment when the conscious world fades and the dream world begins, a brief spark of ancient instinct flickering at the gateway to sleep. Rather than a problem, it is a reminder of how interconnected the body and mind remain, even in our most vulnerable moments.